Void Fizz.
Yeah, at this point in time, Febiven definitely needs to do that one. We will need to check back in that lane once they hit level 6, because I think that's the kill threat. We haven't seen too much of that Hyun and Voidal Sivir Leona lane. CS, small advantage over on the side of Woolite. And basically, once these champions hit level 6, I think the kill threat is on the side of Cloud9 Eclipse. And the kill threat right now is looking at Mabunya. I'm not sure if they're going to tower dive. It would be very, very brave if they wanted to tower dive at level 5.
Tower dive a Jarvan that can knock you up in the air. But there is a Rune Prison once again. They are going to tower dive. There is the knock-up, but this time Mabunya got his flash off. Ko actually going very, very low, but he was scared to chase. It might not matter, though. Kikis is coming around the side. They're going to try and put as much damage as they can onto the both of them. Ko is still waiting off to the side. They turn it around. Well, there's the Alpha Strike. Kikis gets the kill onto Ko. Odoamne is now going to chase down Mabunya. Switches off to Kikis. Mabunya comes back around. Mabunya, is he going to fall? Yes, he will. Has he got the damage for Kikis as well? No! Alpha Strike comes off cooldown, and that is 2 for 2.
So 2 for 2, but if you look at the kills, I think it's gone to probably the most valuable members within those trades. Yi wants to be getting closer to that Wriggles and Feral Flare. He wants to be stacking up to get that ability stacking earlier. On the other side of the coin, Odoamne on a rise needs to get that tier stacked as quickly as possible, as well as getting his Rod of Ages. It's going to come down to who can make better use of those kills. Assuming Kikis can get this Wriggles to a Feral Flare and gank more lanes, I think he has more option to impact the rest of the game.
And that was the ulti actually thrown out there by Nick onto Febiven, who going very, very low. Actually, Xin Zhao did have to come across there to give him a little bit of help. This bottom lane, once again, Super Ace playing the zoning game. As Voidal hits level 5, will they think about getting involved? The CS there is very much in favor of Woolite, doing a good job in laning phase again.
Yeah, and that's, again, entirely due to Voidal playing Leona. Being on that melee champion, you just don't have that presence in the early stages of the game. I actually think Hyun is doing pretty well. We do see an engage that they call Woolite and Super Ace, but Ko's a little bit late to this party, so he can't have any real impacts.
Yeah, spotted by the ward there as well in that River Brush, so they weren't in really any danger from that one. Voidal actually stepping forward here, needs to be a little bit wary that he doesn't get hooked in, but shouldn't be too much of a big deal for him. Nick here coming down, will be claiming his first blue buff of the game and headed straight back to that mid lane where he's currently a little bit of CS in front, but has been doing some good damage so far.
It's actually nice to see Nick playing an assassin and actually playing pretty well. He's gone even in the laning phase. He's now got that threat of kill, the ability to kill Febiven, getting closer to that point. What I like is the fact that Febiven's the player that we came into this expecting to be playing the assassins, expecting to see the LeBlancs, the Zeds, maybe a Riven. But he hasn't. He has been playing the sort of safer picks, the Nidalee, the Soraka, and it's actually Nick that has pulled out the more interesting picks. You can argue about the effectiveness of that Lulu and if it should have been picked, but at the end of the day, they are in the third and final game, and he's playing Fizz right now, which is a much more aggressive, much more playmaking champion.
See that the red side of Denial headed up towards the top lane, but blue buff has spawned here. They're going to try and control both of them.
Yeah, if the Javelin Toss lands, might steal. Oh, smite it away. Smart play. What I would have liked to have seen is Nick and Kikis trying to roam top. They've caught Odoamne.
They're going to go in for Odoamne here. That's a lot of damage coming in. Kikis will pick up the kill. Well, here comes Ko from the side. Kikis goes low, and there is, in fact, the shutdown. And that will end in a 1-for-1. And they try to back away from things. Ko getting the double buffs from that. Actually going in towards Nick here. Actually using that playful tricks and will get himself back to the tower.
So Mabunya did rotate down when Odoamne left the lane. What I do like, though, is you notice how both Nick and Kikis roamed around. Nick's been jumped on again.
And Ko actually may just decide to dive this one now. A little bit dangerous under the turret with that Fizz.
Now, during the build-up to this game, we talked about how if you can shut Rise down with some good roams and rotations by both Kikis and Nick, that would be a good way to get this composition an advantage. Mabunya, very cheeky flag and drag, just to interrupt Odoamne. He needed to have come down the river. If Jarvan had been with the rest of his team after that blue buff steal, they may have been able to turn that fight around and probably held on to their own red buff. So they end up trading buffs, but it's Febiven that's come off worse for wear because he doesn't have blue buff, which is very, very important. The moment Nick goes in, you need to use that mana to heal out.
They did rather steal the red buff away. Ko was able to secure that one for the team, and he's right now doing even more of that work as he goes for the Wraith camp. We'll take away that big Wraith and be happy with what he's got there. Meanwhile, Kikis hanging around by top, but Odoamne may not be in trouble there, but the bottom lane sure is. Super Ace in the middle of nowhere is going to get finished off. Did land the hook there right at the very last second, and now Woolite's going to try and escape. I think they've given up anyway, knowing that he could just invis himself out.
Yeah, both of the top laners have also got jungle support now, so it looks like Kikis was expecting a dive. He's been waiting for longer than Ko has. Ko is now going to find Master Yi, and they're going at it.
Now, this could be very dangerous. Alpha Strike comes into that one. They're going to turn around back on towards Kikis. Get the kill. Has Babunia got the damage? He gets knocked up. Where is the Dragon Cross? He doesn't need it. Babunia will fall anyway. And that is a 2-for-1 and a double kill for Xin Zhao.
I do not think Babunia had enough mana to get a full combo up. He didn't throw down the Cataclysm. It's there. It's available. And it didn't work out for him. Now, Nick, he's picked himself up the first Ether Wisp of 4.5 here in the European Challenger Series playoffs. And it is, of course, one of the new items that we've seen picked up. Movement speed, as well as some ability power. It's also, in conjunction with that Sheen, going to be upgraded to a Lich Bane. Interesting to see Nick going for a Lich Bane as his first item. It is, of course, core on Fizz, but it has been reduced in damage at these early levels, and you tend to see Lich Banes built after a big amount of ability power. So Nick putting some priority on the on-hit effect, as well as the movement speed that it gives you over raw ability power right now.
Yeah, and I think that's been really the question about Fizz now. Is he still strong enough at this level again with the changes to that Lich Bane? And, well, he's trying to prove the critics wrong on this one. He is slightly falling behind now in that lane, but we can see constant harassment. Febiven just having to jump away every single time Nick goes onto it.
So I think Nick has actually played fairly well in the laning phase. Although he hasn't actually got any kills right now, he did move for a blue buff steal. He has been containing Febiven, I think is a good way to put it. What we need to see from Nick is actually kills. If he doesn't start blowing people up with his assassin, then why did you pick the assassin? That's the question that needs to be answered. In addition, Bunia's Jarvan, 1-3-2. I don't know what the theory is from their side. Maybe they wanted the Cataclysm, but it wasn't used previously. But Bunia has been forced away and pushed back from Odoamne. He's 20 CS down, and Ryze is already getting to a very powerful point in the game.
Let's see there. The Zenith Blade is going to cash on towards Woolite. They're going to go hell in for this one. Is he going to get taken down? Half HP on that one. They're actually changing up to Super Ace, and they pick up the kill nicely. Cohen getting in the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, Odoamne and Babunia going head-to-head. Who's got the most damage? Neither of them. They just both turn around.
That was actually good. Now, we did see Odoamne. He had used his Cataclysm, so in that full trade, he was able to keep Odoamne down, but it wasn't enough to secure the kill. Now, Kikis, he's dead.
That was unfortunate for him, but also I think a mistake from his side of things. There was a ward inside of that Tribush. As he comes around, they spot him. They're going to lose a buff as well.
3 games in a row that we've looked in the first 15 minutes of the game and said, wonder